ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about and I don't know how to put into words what I just watched with this episode of Vinland Saga. Just peak, amazing, masterpiece, however you wanna call it. This just left me empty and also very wishful for the future at the same time. I know I'm maybe exaggerating a bit, but this was just such an amazing work of art that we got in this episode. I got teared up, just so many emotions came flashing down. I don't know, this was just an amazing episode, and I get it. People are saying the pacing is too slow compared to season 1, but I don't know, this is just amazing, and you're missing out with this season of Vinland Saga or Farmland Saga if you're not watching. We've had so many dreams, nightmares episode, but this one with Thorfin's choice and him facing himself and the past and everything that has happened, him wanting to be reborn in this episode, all the symbolism that we had, seeing some of the old characters making another appearance, I'm amazed. I'm starstruck, honestly, after this this episode. So let's just get into it. Now it starts off from last week with Thorfin being knocked out, but we see what he's seeing, this dream, this experience that he's having right here, and it felt way too happy in a way. The beginning, how it started there, open field, him dreaming that cute sheep over him there, and even at some point saying that everything up so far has been a dream, as in his real life, the battlefield, the revenge, the loss, him becoming a slave being a dream. Of course we knew it wasn't, but we saw his experience right now. At this moment was probably one of the most powerful moments he has experienced in his entire life. And meanwhile, while he was going through this, on the outside you had Einar holding the ground against all of them, still fighting, not giving up at all, saying we're gonna see who's beneath, if we are beneath you, still holding his ground against the retainers. And even at the end, Einar is such an awesome character, and he's so good with Thorfin, but we're gonna get to that. Now back to the dream, we even see Thor's making an appearance. It felt like he was visiting the afterlife a bit. I don't know if it was just symbolism and in his head, or if actually Vinland Saga there's some actual afterlife, or is just him seeing something like that. But I was so happy to see Thor's and him remembering what was said back there, and when Thor said, I smell blood, who did you kill with that knife? And the nightmares, the dream, all of them feeling like a story, being interconnected, just the pain, guilt, regret, turmoil that Thorfin has been facing, and even more still being afraid of himself and what he might do. Especially in last nightmare when he saw his younger self killing Einar, and in this case he sees that he actually did kill Einar in that dream there. And when Thor said that strength was to protect you, I'm sorry I left you behind, I still had things to tell you, to teach you, to talk to you, anything, just even the regrets of Thor's and even Thorfin's regrets at losing his father way too early, what life could have been if what happened didn't happen now. And when Thor said, you understand now, you have no enemies, nobody has enemies, just brings back the beginning of the series, and we finally understand a bit of Thor's and why he made the choice he made back then on the battlefield, the choice to sacrifice himself for his son, or at least Thorfinn starts to understand a bit more about his father there. And just before he could talk a bit more with him, the past catches up, even in the nightmares, falling down deeper and deeper into the underworld, getting dragged there by the undead. At first it seems like was a Valhalla, or a messed up Valhalla, undead warriors fighting endlessly, crazy, but it looked so good, like actual hell being more shown, like hell, or Hell's realm in North mythology, just amazing how they showed this, and it looked so good. You actually felt like you're going to hell in that moment, and we even see him still barely clinging there just to fall back, to revert back to his old self. He still even feels guilty after that punch over here, just triggered all of that guilt in him, saying he's going back there. We even see Bjorn still in his berserker form fighting, but the one that I was so happy to see, again, my favorite character in Vinland Saga, being Ashalad, and having both of his fathers for Thorfinn here. I know Thor is his actual father, but also Ashalad, in a messed up way, he was still the one that raised him, even him saying that he dragged him down to this realm of the warriors, and saying this is not Valhalla, it's the same as the land of the living. And that's a very good point, because it's pretty much the same, just above. People don't admit it, because especially in Vinland Saga, people just kill each other for nothing. Death is very common there, and even when he said you used to live here with us until you became empty, and which allowed you to escape. And that's a very good point. After he lost every purpose in life, he didn't also have that killer instinct, the need to kill, the revenge, everything. So he was able to escape, in a way, that realm, or that way of life. But he still feels very guilty, because when he said, I'm still a warrior, I struck someone in rage, this is why he was dragged down again. They're barely clinging, and all of the undead coming after him, and it felt so good having Ashalad talking to him. It felt like a messed up fatherly advice there, saying those undeads, listen to their complaints, they are the people that you killed. And then it finally clicked for Thorfinn. And I know I can't really put into words how good it is. Amazing episode, honestly, what we saw right here, and even more after Thorfinn. I can't remember your face, nameless, faceless over here, how I killed you, him starting to cry there, saying sorry, finally apologizing to them, even though it was still a dream. It just felt such a powerful moment, having that, him finally facing himself, the past, and all of the choices he made, considering he went after revenge, one-track mind, and how many lives he has ruined for this pursuit of revenge. It finally catches up to him here. But also, even in the last moment there, when the undead started shooting arrows at him, you have Ashalad going down to stop them, and still pushing him back, not wanting to have Thorfinn there. Climb back, that's your true battle. Take them with you, just carry your sins, but never forget them. I'm paraphrasing a bit, of course. Become a true warrior. And he starts climbing up, and that sequence, that scene of him actually dragging himself up to the surface felt so good. And when they saw up to that comic style thing, black and white with a bit of color, and he woke up with his hands in the air, finally back in reality, I felt like I was watching a short movie there. But also, considering all of the backstory, the build up, the attachments to the character we have, just I can't put it into words how good this episode was, with him finally waking up, seeing a dream, and finally had a true dream, like an actual dream, not just a nightmare, something with a bit of hope left in it. And he sees Einar on the ground after that moment. But before we get to that, holy hell, the dream arc, so to say, has been amazing. Seeing all of this, the first time we saw the dream, it feels just an story in itself, only the dreams. If you ignore anything else, this has been so good, both from Vinland Saga and also the way they portrayed it in the anime here. But I'm also really curious, how was it for the manga readers, because I haven't read the manga. This is my first time experiencing this. Did you feel the same emotions in the manga? How did they do with the adaptation here? Let me know in the comments below if you are a manga reader, and also as an anime only, what did you think, at least so far, about Vinland Saga, and especially about this episode? Do you like the pacing here, more character focused, or would you prefer more of the season 1 action packed thing that we got there? I don't know. I love season 1, one of my favorite series, but Season 2 has just been amazing. Not as much action, but more character action, if you get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, the dream is very, very much worth it. And after that, when he woke up, Einar's first thing that he said, we won the fight. Man, I love Einar so much. But also with him saying they are at rock bottom, the fields, the punishments, them being in a bad state after the beating, and when he said, but that punch was so satisfying, and still able to laugh in that moment, I was like, I love you, Einar, I love you. And yes, that punch was well worth it from Thorfinn there, and it finally, after that, it hit Thorfinn, crying, breaking down, and being honest with Einar, admitting to everything, saying I've killed so many people with these hands, and yet today I've struck another, still showing how much he regrets everything there, and also making a new choice, decision, a new way of life. And I feel like Einar was the biggest catalyst for this entire thing. If Einar wasn't here, I don't think Thorfinn would have reached this part of his journey or soul searching in a way. Finally, the acceptance part of grieving and regrets with everything that has happened, and the promise I'll never hurt anyone again. From today I'm swearing off violence. Now, I love that, I hope he sticks to it, but of course it's still Vinland Saga. I'm pretty much sure he's still gonna fight, but he's not gonna fight just for revenge or mindless killing or plundering and things like that, for protecting something that Thor's wanted always for him. This is the moment he's reborn, and think Thor's when Thorfinn saw Thor's walking off in the distance there, just made me think a bit of Gladiator, the movie. I always have that scene in the grass stuck in my head, even at the beginning of the episode here, and right now at the end. Felt like a bit of closure with his father there, and yeah, I got pretty emotional in this episode. And also gotta give a lot of credit to Pater, because thanks to him they're not gonna get any punishment. He found some proof that the retainers were at fault for destroying the field, the fight and everything, and Kettle. I like his honor, even though he's a liar. I like you, Kettle, quite a lot. I don't like your son in the Thorgil. I like Olmar. He's kind of a dumb dude, but an innocent dude. Thorgil, he's fucked up. But I like you, Kettle, and yeah, no punishment for them. They're gonna pretend some bears destroyed the field there. And also Pater, even when Kettle told him, are you okay with this? The ones that you're working with aren't gonna like you more after this. So Pater is okay with this. He's a very, very strong man, to say the least, at least emotionally. And yeah, what Pater did here very much saved them in a way also. And we finally see them after that getting back to work with Sverkel, giving them instructions, pointers, everything there. And the new life starts over here. But of course, amazing episode. I can't wait for more. And please give season 2 another chance. I know a lot of people have issues with the pacing, but I love it. Well, what can I say? This has been amazing. I'm very excited for the future. We also have so many unresolved things. This felt more character driven, but I'm sure a lot of other things are going to happen with Canute, with the war, with everything else outside of the farm here. We still have the Loki thing with Thorfinn. What's gonna happen when he finds out who was responsible for all of this? Yeah, a lot of things left for the series. We're still at the beginning over here, but amazing. And I'm gonna keep saying it over here. Probably one of the best episodes in anime in general, and not just in Vinland Saga, just period, anime that we got right here. So let me know what you guys thought about the episode, the series overall, in the comments down below. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So also make sure to check out the podcast, because anime episodes every Wednesday. And as always, I'm gonna see you again in the next one. Bye bye.